Well, we heard the news this morning. I think a lot of people, including Amazon employees, may have found out here on CJD that Amazon would be shutting its complete Quebec operations, 7 different locations, a couple of months, and then everybody, 1,700 permanent employees, a couple of hundred part-time employees would be out of work. Union says it was, I think, fair to say, gobsmacked by this, and I think our next guest, Caroline Senville, who's president of the CSN Union, called it a smack in the face from Amazon to union employees in Laval, who were the first ones to, in fact, be certified as a union. She's on the phone. Caroline, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I'm sure you've been busy all day trying to figure out what's going on here. Did you have any indication, did the union have any indication this would be happening?
No, we learned it really early this morning, around 7 o'clock, and so did the government. Yeah, so Amazon didn't. Usually Amazon calls on the government and say, well, this is going to happen because, like you said, it's going to be a few thousand workers out of work, and no.
Okay. I'm trying to understand, first of all, if I can ask, do you have any idea why this is happening?
Oh, yes. It's because they don't want to deal with the union. So they want us as customers, but they don't want us as citizens that have rights. They want to have our money, but they don't want to respect our labor laws.
All right. So I will tell you, I asked our listeners a couple of times this afternoon to weigh in on this. I got a surprising number of calls saying good on Amazon, actually, which surprised me. And someone who pointed out, and you can tell me if this is the case or not, this union that you did manage to get in Laval for the employees there was certified by the government. You were in negotiations with Amazon now for how long? Since the summer? Like 6 months?
Yes, July.
And at the end of it all, Amazon basically decided, no, we don't want to do this, and pulled the plug. Is that kind of how it went?
Yes. The thing is, we don't get in. People come to us and say we want to be unionized. And like you said, we were certified by the labor board. That means that the people did it freely and voluntarily, and that they were more than 50% was one that wanted to do so. And why? Because the working conditions are just terrible. The pace is horrible. We have a lot of health and safety issues, a lot of injuries, and all that for a low pay, around $8 an hour less than in other warehouses. And you can be for or against union. The thing is, the right to unionize is protected under both the charters, the Quebec one and the Canadian one. And you know what? It's even in the Universal Declaration of Rights from the UN. So when workers come together, they have the right to do so. And it's the employee's decision. It's the worker's decision, not the employer's decision.
So,
and you know,
Amazon
has been anti-union from the beginning.
So I will point out, because if you do a little homework, there's only one other Amazon union in Canada. That's the one in Alberta. That's about 600 people there. There's actually only one in North America, which is the one in upstate New York. I mean, Amazon has done its best. I saw a figure today. I don't know if it's right or not, but it's pretty staggering that they have spent $14 million on legal fees to try to basically, as far as anti-union activities are concerned. So you kind of knew that going in, did you not?
Yes, and the workers did also. But then they say, we don't want to work under those conditions. We want to improve our way of living, and we're going to try it, even though they came into it without any illusions.
So you talked about 200. The certified union was the 200 employees in Laval. We're talking about 1,700 workers now who are going to be affected by this. Were you not able, or did you not try to unionize other employees?
We were having some union drives in other warehouses, yes. But we haven't been certified yet elsewhere.
Okay. Now, someone texted me, perhaps you could again tell me if this is accurate or not, saying that in part of the negotiations, you were asking Amazon, for all intents and purposes, for a 30% wage hike from $20 an hour to $26 an hour for some employees. Is that accurate?
Maybe around that, because you have to take into account that if you were to work in another warehouse in Quebec, you would make an average of $28 an hour. So, and I think we were asking for that at the end of the contract, so maybe not the first year. And I can tell you what Amazon offered us, if you can call it offer, just last week. It offered us nothing, 0%.
So negotiations, in essence, went nowhere. They were kind of just running out the clock.
Absolutely.
So where do you go from here? I mean, we're talking about 1,700 families who are finding out that in 2 months, their breadwinners are going to be out of work. What happens next?
Well, we're going to make sure that labor laws are followed, and they have like 14 weeks of severance pay for our members. We're going to help them find another job, and I can tell you that our legal department is in action to see what can be done about that, because it is illegal in Canada to close shop because you are unionized. Like I said, you can like or not unions, but it's a right of the workers to be unionized. So it happened. It happened in Ville-Saguenay, where Walmart closed a store right after the union was certified, and they were fined. They were fined in court, and they had to pay compensations to the workers that had been laid off.
So I get that part, but at the end of the day, those jobs never come back, do they?
Well, they're going to come back, because Amazon is going to continue to do business in Quebec. It's just going to do it with subcontractors, and now they're going to pressure those subcontractors. I wouldn't be surprised with that, and the jobs will be going there. Thing is, if you're doing a really hard job that gets you injured for a low pay, well, they tried to improve, but of course it didn't work. But that's Amazon's fault. You cannot be intimidated about. You can't live in a society where you say, well, you have rights, but if you do stand up for your rights, you're going to lose your job. We wouldn't have that for any of the rights that we have. So, like I said, Amazon wants us as customers. They don't want to treat us right as citizens.
Someone texted me saying, you know what, thanks to unions, we have, the norme de travail, we have the CNESST, and they're the ones who basically look after workers. That's not enough?
No, you know what happened in the case of Amazon, because when workers got injured, they would tell them, don't go to the CNSST. Just take a few days off, and you'll get better, because and so it was really hard just to have those laws enforced. If you don't have a union, and that happens not only in Amazon but also somewhere else. Also, if you don't have a union to back you up, sometimes if you're going to stand up for your rights, even in the norme de travail or the CNSST, sometimes you'll be just laid off or fired. So that's why sometimes that's why one of the reasons why the people do get unionized.
I just asked you one last thing. You mentioned the third-party companies now who'll be doing this delivery, since Amazon's not going to be hiring them. So is the suggestion that you'll be now going and trying to form unions within those companies?
Like I said, again, that's going to be the workers' decision. If they come to us, they'll find an open door. But the workers come to us. I want to really stress that out.
Okay. That's where we will leave it. I mean, obviously, we feel for the families, as I said, of all the employees who are losing their jobs, and hope that at least there's some compensation available here. Carolyn, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me.
Carolyn Senneville, president of the CSN Union, which represents those Amazon employees.